Okay. Sorry if you've been waiting around for a minute. It wouldn't go live, so I've just had to wrestle a bit. But so all good now. And that said, we'll get underway. Obviously, thanks again to Active System Reboot for allowing us to put these on. Really beneficial for people in this time to stay active, and allows us to provide that for you guys in your homes. So with that said, I think we're going to get straight onto it today because I'm going to try and finish on time. So same warm up as always. Again, if you want to add any resistance or anything, you can use water bottles, things like that. For your legs, which we're going to be doing today, it's got lower body today. You could tie some jumpers around your legs. You could wear, big boots. Whatever you can think of. If you want to add some resistance, just to add some weight to your legs to make it a bit harder. But with that said, we're going to get underway with our warm up. So the first one is our neck rotations. So we bring our chest down, chin down to our chest, round to the side, relax the shoulders. We'll put that on silent. There it is. Right, over the other side. And you're basically chin to chest, ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder. And try not to move your shoulders. Try and keep them relaxed. It's almost automatic though to move them. I'm moving a little bit. And we just do this for 30 seconds each. A little bit longer. Really open everything up. And this again is the same for whether you're seated, whether you're standing, and whether you want the low impact versions. We're going to move into our windmills next at 2 minutes in. And we're just going to rotate them. And again, this is the same for seated, standing, and low impact. All right, so you can do it whatever you're gunning for. So we're going to give it 10 seconds. We're going to start at the 2 minute mark for our windmills, which look like this, big circles with our arms. Okay, so 15 seconds of those, and then we're going to change direction. Off we go. So just really big and try and bring them in, right up, out to the side, around. Really wake up your shoulders. Not as important today, because obviously we're focusing on our legs, but you're still using all your body. So it's still worthwhile. And change direction. So if you're going forward, now go backwards. If you're going backwards, now go forwards. Really out wide and in as well. As big as you can manage. Okay, relax. Right, we've got our torso twist now. So wherever you're sitting on your bum, you're just going to be feet on the floor, nice and strong. Arms up, twist. So we can just feel the stretch in the back, really. If you're standing, it's exactly the same, but you can also bring your knees up. So we're looking at just this action. If you want to add more to it, you can sort of do an opposite knee, and you can do that while seated as well. You just bring your knees up. All right. Well, off we go. So we're going to twist around. I'm just going to twist. I'm not going to worry about my knees. And we just twist each side. What you can also do is you get to there, you pull back a bit, and you go a bit further. Definitely don't go fast in this one, and definitely don't go too hard into each sort of your maximum rotation, because you could probably do a bit of damage on this one. Well, you can do a bit of damage in any sport, but this one just worries me about putting out someone's back. So just being careful as we reach those rotation points. And relax. Excellent. Okay, next we've got torso. No, we've done torso twist. March in place. If you're seated, opposite arm to leg, you're going to march up like that, keeping your bum in the chair, just bringing your legs and arms up. If you're standing, it's high knees. All right, so bring those up plus the arms. All right, and the low impact version is the same as the standard. And then I'm going to start from the seated version. So keep my bum in the chair, just doing opposite arm to leg. Just like this. Beautiful. Okay, a few more seconds and I'm going to transition to the standing. I'm going to come back here so you can see my full body. And we'll just opposite arm to leg, bring it up to waist height. All right, 10 more seconds. Brilliant, and relax. Okay, and then next on our list of warm-ups, we've got gates. So if you're sitting down, bum near the edge of the seat, you're going to bring your leg up, out to side and down. You can go back up, into the middle, and down. Remember to support yourself with your arms, all right, as you do this. Just that simple movement. If you're standing, up, out, down, up, in, down. Really works on our balance. And the low impact, again, is exactly the same as the standard or the seated. So I'm going to start from the seated now. And we're going to do 15 seconds in this. And then we're going to transition to the standing. Up, out, and in. Good stuff, good stuff. Now, a few more seconds, I'm going to transition to the standing. You guys can obviously stay at whatever you were doing. So we come back, we lift up, out to the side. Oops, what's today's? The dog cage there. Don't worry, not a dog. He is banished to the hallway because he will whine. Last one. Brilliant. Okay, relax. And then we're on to our last warm up here. And that's the same for sitting, standing. I'd actually advise you to sit this one, even if you are standing. It's because we're just rotating our ankles around in circles and wrists. And if we're sitting, we can do all four at the same time. All right, makes it easier. Gives us a nice, bang for our buck, for lack of a better term. But with that said, we're going to get into it. So legs out, arms rotating. I'm rotating below, but just not doing very well. So every about 5 seconds or so, just switch directions. All right, like a sort of a fish or something. I don't know. It looks like they're actually not my arms. There's someone behind me doing their arms or something. I can assure you that's not the case. 5 seconds left. Keep rotating. Excellent. Okay, that's our warm up done now. Nice 5-minute warm up. Really quick, easy one. Get the whole body going. Moving on to, as I said, our lower body today. All right. So week 1 we did our cardio. Week 2 we did our upper body. So week 3 we're transitioning to our lower body. We're going to be doing 5 exercises twice. All right, for a minute each with a minute rest. All right. Any questions, please pop them in the comments. If you're watching post live video, drop us a message on our Facebook page, and we'll get back to you. All right. So with that said, we're going to start this at 7:30. All right. First one, we've got squats. All right. Might start at 8 actually, so I can explain. So seated squats, we're going to be looking like this: bum on chair, feet flat on the floor. Put your hands behind you on your chair. All right, and I want you to try and sit up. All right, literally, if you can do it without your arms, and just come up and down. Brilliant. If you, I don't know if we're frozen. Cool. No. If you haven't got that quite range of movement, help use your arms as well. Help push up and down. Try and put the emphasis on your legs. So try not to use your arms so much. Just coming up and down. Really simple. All right. If we're standing, squat, hands up front, bend your knees, keep your back straight. Bring that up. Sit from the side. Just keep that back straight. And up, all right, until your thighs go flat. And the low impact, you can do the seated one, or just go a shorter distance when you're doing a squat. Okay, so a minute, off we go. I'm going to start from the seated position. So it's really just a little bit like that and down. If you can get all the way up, brilliant, and down. That's absolutely fine. If you can't, hands there, and just support yourself, just lifting up and off that chair, just that and down. All right. If you can't do that, bring your legs up and just get the movement. It's more of a core exercise, but you're still doing something. All right. Excellent. So just little movements if we're seated. Now I'm going to transition to standing. I'll show you a few from the front. I like to put my hands out, counterbalance. Come down till my thighs are flat with the floor, or parallel with the floor. Up again. Come down nice and slow. Go right down and then pushing up. Keeping our back straight. Try not to bend over. All right. Good. I'm going to do some from the side here. Go down. Come up, see how straight my back is. We don't want any curl over backs or any bend over. We want to keep nice and upright as much as possible. Last one. Ooh, and up. Excellent. You've just worked out your quadriceps or your thighs. All right. Next, we've got seated calf raises. All right. So I'm going to demonstrate this one with my hands because obviously my feet are on the floor. So this one's nice and easy if you're seated. So we just sit there, feet natural out in front, and this is the floor. This is your foot. You're just going to come up onto the balls of your feet. All right, and back down. It's literally, you're going to come up, squeeze your calves for about 2-3 seconds, and then bring them down. If you're standing, all right, the same process. You just got to balance a bit. So you go up onto your tiptoes or your balls of your feet, hold a few seconds, and come down. Tiptoes, down. The low impact version is exactly the same as the standing one because it's a very sort of low sort of intensity exercise. So whatever you want those. Again, I'm going to start in the seated, so you can see that. You can't see it very well, unfortunately, because of my camera angle. But it's literally just onto your tiptoes, hold and squeeze your calf and down. Right, you'll see my knees raising. All right, so off we go. So we're going to lift up onto our toes, we're going to squeeze those calves and down. You can even hold your calves, just feel them. You can feel the muscles moving. Make sure you're squeezing them, working them out. All right, You have your hands wherever you want though. Just relax, just up. We're just working our calves at the moment, so the back of our shins, I suppose. Okay, good. So I'm going up onto my toes and down again, flat-footed. Up onto my toes and down. You can keep going. I'm going to transition to my standing position. I'll do it sideways on. We come up, hold, and down. We come up, hold. As you can see, it's a very sort of low impact one. We're not doing too much. If you need to use a wall or a friend or a person or a family member to balance, then please do so. All right. But if you want to challenge yourself, get that core engaged a bit more, then you can just try and balance without holding anything. All right. As I said, 2 to 3 seconds, sort of tensed, and then we come down. I'm going to do one more, and we're finished. Excellent, guys. Okay. So we've got a wall sit next. Wall sits are horrible, all right? So I thought I'd add something hard in. I haven't really got a wall to demonstrate. All right, so if you're sitting down, what I want you to do is just try and lift yourself up, whether that's, without your arms, with your arms. Just do that and just try and hover, right, above your chair without sitting on it. All right, the low impact version is going to be the seated one, or you can sit higher on a wall, okay? Because how you do it against the wall, see if I can show you this. Right, so the wall's here. You come down into a seated position, leaning against the wall, all right, and you sit there like sitting on a chair. There's obviously nothing there, and you've just got to hold yourself up with your thighs. Low impact version, you come a bit higher, not do it as hardcore, okay? Right, so we're almost there now. 10 seconds till we start. We'll start in the seated position, and then I'll transition over to the standing one, okay? All right, here we go. So we're going to try and hover over our seat. All right, you'll feel your legs burning. This one's horrible because you're stuck in one position. All right, you're trying to bounce, keep your back straight. Right, again, if you need to use your hands to support a bit or relieve, if you need to come down, just do it. All right, but go, try and push yourself as hard as you can until you can't take any more. The hands on your thighs as well will probably help you a little bit more, taking some of that strain off. Woo. Okay, then I'm going to transition to the back. Just so you can see that standing variant. So as you can see, lower impact, I want you up here, all right, because it's less strain. If you want to go the full way, your thighs should be flat. It's like you're sitting on a chair, all right? You're just pushing against the wall to keep yourself up, and you'll really feel those thighs burning. I think we've got 10 seconds left. Can't really see the time. Gonna go with it. I think 5 seconds. Okay, stop there. Did I get it right? I did. Fantastic. Okay. Well done there, guys. Excellent work. That's a grueling one, all right? So you'll feel that in your thighs. Real burner, that one, but really, really good. Next, we've got our seated squat split lunge, or seated split squat lunge, however you want to say it. So you're going to sit on the edge of your seat, place one foot out in front, the other bent backwards, and lean forward to put your weight on it. So essentially, I'm actually going to move the camera, I think. It's a bit more complicated. So edge of your seat, all right. One foot's going to be coming back like this, one foot in front, and you're just going to lean forward. If you lean your weight forward onto this leg, you'll feel it in your thigh again, all right? And we're going to do that like a squat. We come back, okay, and you can either do a few like that, or you can switch each time. So we're going to go like that. Maybe do half the time one side, and then switch to half the time the other side, all right? If you're standing, got to be quick. All right, you're just taking a big step. You're lunging, bending both legs, knees not on the floor, and popping back up, all right? Nice and simple. I think the low impact is the same. So we're going to get going. I'm going to start in the seated position. So my legs behind. I'm going to lean on the front leg and come back up. Lean on the front leg. You'll feel it in your thigh. Lean on the front leg. Make sure this one's back. Lean on the front leg. All right. And we're going to do half time on one leg. If you're seated, half time on the other. If you're standing, you can come up and switch legs because it's a lot quicker. All right. If you're seated and want to do that, go for it. All right. Good. All right, keep going. I'm now transition to standing. So I'm going to take a step, bend both legs. Nothing's touching the floor apart from my feet. All right, so don't you coming down here and kneeling. It's not the idea. You come down nice and slow, get to that sort of 90-degree angle, and then come back up without any touching the floor. Bring that back straight, and nice and smooth through the motion. Excellent. Okay, 5 seconds left. I'm going to finish off strong here. Keep going. Use your hands to balance. Need to hold something. Absolutely fine. Last one. Ooh, well done, guys. Relax. Take it this time. Grab a drink. I've got one with me. It's quite hot. Oh, there we go. Right. Next, seated jogging on the spot. Okay, we've done this one in our cardio week. Just thought it's our legs, take some strain off the muscles because we do a lot of our leg exercises are in one area. All right, so I thought I'd break it up with a jog halfway through. All right, so for the seated, you can do fast toes on top of that. You can do like proper running if you like, whatever you fancy, whatever works for you as in jogging on the spot when you're seated. All right, if you're standing, obviously we're going to be doing a bit of a jog. All right, so opposite arm to leg, lips to hips, as they say, with your hands, so up here to down here for that big motion. All right, and then low impact, you're just going to come up onto your balls of your feet and just like that, or just do the slow marching. All right, so quite a few options in each position. I'm going to start the seated. All right, I'm going to do the fast start for half of this. So slow arms, fast feet. Okay, if you want to do this way, excuse me. If you prefer to do it like this, you can do like you're actually running. It feels really weird while seated. So give it a go, see what you think. But you're still working out your core's moving to keep you stable. Legs are working, arms are working. You know, everything's involved in this, so it's fantastic. Good. Okay, we're going to come up. Well, you can stay where you are. I'm going to transition to the standard variant. And then halfway through this, I'll go to the low impact variant. I'm going to apologise ahead of time. I think my dog's going to bark. So if you hear a bark, he's just being needy, wants feeding, but he's not fed till 5. He's just greedy. So there he is. I do apologise. If he does it again, I'll get someone to sort it. We're doing a low impact version. Okay, and relax. Relax, relax, relax. Right, so we're now halfway through. All right, we're going to start again on the first exercise, all right, which was our seated squats. Okay, so I'll walk you through that when we get there. Here, just in case you're worried about my dog, he's just a bit old, and this curtain has really confused him, or duvet has really confused him, so he doesn't seem to think he can come through it because bed's just there. So he's probably sat in the hall feeling sorry for himself, just needs a little attention. So Callum's giving some attention right now, and we'll probably let him outside, but shouldn't bark again. If he does, and I'm sure Callum will attend to his needs. But with that said, 20 seconds till we start back in again. Again, grab a drink, guys, if you need it. Keep hydrated. You know, keep breathing, get the oxygen through your body, and we're gonna go through the motions again. All right. So, seated squats. You can use your hands to assist. You don't have to. Whatever works for you. All right. And we're gonna push up a little bit and down. I've literally got my thumbs on the chair just for a little bit of support. Keep your back straight. Lift up like you're going to stand up, just like this. Okay, we're just almost like a rocking motion. Nice and simple. Oh, singing my throat. Nothing too strenuous. Excellent. Okay, remember, you keep doing whatever you chose to do. I'm going to change to the standing version, the standard version. All right, so there we are. So I'm going to do my squats. So down 90 degrees up, keep my back straight and try and stay upright as much as possible. All right, you will go forward with this just because I don't think it's humanly possible to stay dead upright. I may be wrong, and I may just not be very good at squats, which is, you know, quite potentially the case. But we're just going to keep those legs bent, keep strong, and push up. Last few. Good. Okay, and relax. Oh, blimey, been going for almost 20 minutes. Oh, it's very hot today. Maybe because I'm wearing a jumper. Maybe. But next, we've got our seated calf raises. So if you're sitting down, sit as you normally would, bum near the edge of the chair, flat feet. All right, you're going to lift your foot up onto its toes or the balls of your feet, squeeze your calves, not literally squeeze them, but tense your calves. All right, and for 2 or 3 seconds, then come back down. And we just repeat throughout the minute. All right, so looks like this. We come up, we hold, squeezing our calves, and down. And then we repeat. So about a second down. So 1, and then up. All right, and 2 to 3 seconds tensed. Okay, if you're standing, exactly the same thing. We're just standing, so you need a bit balanced. We can come up, hold, and down. You're going to hold into a wall or someone around you. Absolutely fine. Okay, and the low impact version, you've got the option of either doing the standing one there or the seated one because it's not a fast or an impactful exercise. All right, so I'm going to get stuck into the seated variant and down. We come up onto our tiptoes and squeeze our calves. We come down, we come up, we squeeze our calves. down, up, squeeze calves, down, up, squeeze calves, down, up, squeeze calves, down, up, squeeze calves. I'm sure it sounds really weird. I'm sure it's quite boring. You're like, yeah, I know what we're doing. Good. Now I'm going to transition. You remember, you stay as what you are. So the standing variant, I'm going to come up on my toes. I'm going to hold and come down. Up onto my toes. And the benefit, obviously, of this standard variation is that you're actually using your body weight as the resistance. All right. Obviously, when you're seated, it's not doing as much. That's why I'm emphasizing that squeezing of the muscles, that tensing of the muscles. What you could do is put something heavy like some books or someone else if you're that strong, and try to lift that with your knees and your toes, and that will do just as well. All right. So relax there. Woo. Exercise is brilliant, especially home exercise and home workouts, because you're only limited to what you think of. All right. So you might not have all the gear, you might not have the right space, but there's always something you can do, and always a way you can adapt things to suit the situation you're in. So that's why it's so great and so useful to be able to work out wherever. So hopefully you find some benefit in this. Next, we have our seated wall sit or our standard wall sit. All right, so seated wall sit, you're going to try and hover above the chair. If that's too much for you, you can use your hands for support and hover. All right, but if you're doing it as a standard, you're going to find a wall, flat one. You're going to put your back against it, all right, and bring your legs so they're flat, like you're sitting on a chair. If you're doing a low impact, you can just bring it up higher, less strain, or do the seated version, okay? So I think, yeah, we're going in now. So I'm just going to sit down and do a seated version first. So I'm going to try and hover above the chair here, and I can feel already my muscles here are tight. I can feel them being used. It's not a very good word, is it? But I can feel them start to burn. If you want to really challenge yourself, really get as low as you can above that chair, all right? And it will really feel the work going on, all right? We can then just hold as long as we can. You sit down, absolutely fine. Go for it. I'm going to transition over here. I'm going to do 15 seconds of the low impact. So that's just against the wall you're leaning, and just a slight bend in your legs. All right, now I'm just going to hold this for a bit. And then if you're feeling really brave and want to fancy the standard variation, you can come down lower. All right, so you've got flat thighs, flat leg. You can put plank on, like a table. Legs come down at 90 degrees. All right, it's like we're sitting on a chair, but nothing's actually there. All right, so you're pushing against the wall. Whoa, really getting those muscles burning. I think I cheated and stopped a bit early, but my excuse is going to be that I couldn't see the time. So we've next got our seated split squat lunge. All right, so legs going to come behind us, other leg out in front. All right, I'm just going to lean forward and put pressure on that leg. You can obviously change over each one as preferred, but I'm aware it takes a bit longer when you're seated. All right, and we're just putting our weight on this leg to start feeling it in that thigh muscle there, okay? If you're standing, you're going to make sure space in front of you. You're going to take a big step, bend both legs so they're 90 degrees. Low impact, you can do the low one or the standard one, because it's a slow exercise. There's no jumping, no jolting, so it shouldn't affect you too much. All right, just obviously when you're doing it standard variation, just go down as far as you can manage. Don't have to go all the way down and bend it properly like a square. All right, so don't worry about that. We're going to jump right in. So foot behind us, lean into that, and then come back up. And I'm going to transition sides this time because we always want to work out both sides of our body equally. And I did not do that last time. I stayed on my left leg, I think, constantly. And so I'm going to have a massive left leg and a puny little right leg. You never want that. Ooh. Good. Okay, a few more seconds till I change, but you keep going. Nice little rhythm there we got into. I'm going to do the variation. So low impact, you could always do just a little step like that, little bend. So we're not really challenging too much. We're going to go the full way. Right, do try and get squares with your legs. All right, nice right angles. I think they're the right ones. But no, I coach sport. I'm not a mathematician, so I'll let myself off. Excellent. Keeping that back straight, nice and slow in and out of the movement, and knees not touching the floor. Okay. Relax. On to our last exercise now, and that's going to be the seated jogging the standing jogging or marching in place. So obviously if you're sat down, you can do your fast feet with your moving arms. You could do like proper jogging spot. Looks a bit funny though, and it feels funny, but definitely helps your core a bit more. If you're standard, you can just jog on the spot, get those arms moving. If you want to do the full way, lips to hips, go for it. All right, just like this. And then if you want that low impact, you can do march on the spot, opposite arm to legs, or up onto the balls of your feet on your toes, so you're not even lifting your feet off the floor. All right, but definitely get those arm movements in, okay, to keep everything going, keep everything moving. 10 seconds till go time. I'm going to start in the seated, transition to the low, finish on the, I suppose you could call it high, but it's just a standard. So we're sitting here, I'm going to get comfortable and I'm going to try this one. So I feel like it's more beneficial. I find moving my legs to the right and the left is counterbalancing me, and I'm also getting like a semi torso twist or a crossover ab crunch at the same time, which is obviously the more things we can add into one exercise, the more beneficial they're going to be. And that's why I love these compound exercises that use all of your body or most of your body. Okay, keep going there, guys. Keep going, keep going. I'm going to transition to the low impact. So I'm going to do a bit on the toes. Looks a bit funny. Looks like I'm pretending I'm walking. All right. Or you've got obviously the marching in place. I'm going to get a bit more movement in. And then for the last 15 seconds, I'm going to do the standard and just jog on the spot. All right. Bring those knees up a little bit more than usual. All right. Just because we're going to be working out a bit more that way. Just jogging, jogging, jogging. Can't see the time because my head's bobbing, but I think we're almost there. Good. Stop there. Right. So that is all of our exercises done. We're now going to transition over to our cool down. So we're going to get straight into that because we might actually finish on time for once. So we've got our head pull. So you put your hand on your head. You're going to pull to one side. Feel it in the opposite side of the neck you're pulling to. And just relax the shoulder as well. Don't have it tight because you're not going to do the stretch. Relax, pull. We're going to do 10 to 15 seconds on these. Whew. And just nice deep breaths just to get that oxygen back in the blood. Bring your heart rate back down. Whew. Okay, hold that one for a bit long. Move into the other one. Whew. Okay, hold that nice and tight. Releasing the lactic acid in our muscles. Breathing as we do. Excellent. Next one, we've got a shoulder cross. So arm out front, across our body, keeping it straight. Use the other arm to tuck it in and keep it nice and tight. All right, so feel this one in your shoulder. Okay. And hold this again. 10, 15 seconds. I'm going to transition to the other side. So release, straight arm across, tuck it in tight. Brilliant. And really focus on this because what you'll do otherwise is you'll slowly get loose and loose and loose and it starts moving and you're not actually doing the exercise or the stretch. Okay, and relax. Next, we're going to hug ourselves. So just try and grab your shoulder blades, keep your back straight, nice and tight. Remember which one's on top because we have to change positions in a minute. Holding tight, hugging tight, opening up our back, using our arms and our shoulders. Okay, and then change. So put the one that's on top on the bottom and the one that's on the bottom on top, and exact same stretch, all right? Don't bring that by your neck because you'll start sort of strangling yourself, and don't just stop halfway. Try and get all the way around to your shoulder blades, okay? Next, we're going to lean to the side. So you can do these standing or seating or seated all these. You're going to lean to the side like this. You can put your arm down for balance. You can have it on your chair to hold you up. You're trying to stretch out the side. So nice and straight, cross we go, and you have to stretch all down here. Excellent. Change sides. Ooh. Make sure we're not leaning forward, leaning backwards. We're upright and going across. Otherwise, you won't get as much benefit from this stretch as you normally would. Okay, relax and knee hug now. So we're going to bring the knee up to our chest. Hug it in tight, keeping that back straight. Excellent. And the other one. We almost finished on time. We're closer. I reckon next week we'll have it. Good. Just hold that in nice and tight. Open up our hips and our bum here and get rid of all that nasty acid. Last one, we've got our foot pull. All right. So we're going to sit on the edge of the chair if we're seated. Right here, it comes behind. And we're going to grab our foot here. All right. If you're standing, you can do the exact same, but standing. All right, and just balancing knees together, leaning with our hips forward, just to increase the stretch. Should feel it down here. All right, and change sides. So on the edge of our chair, we grab our foot and we stretch it out, just like that. Excellent. A few more seconds. Excellent. Relax. Okay, so we've made it through week 3. Obviously, it's sort of good news on the horizon that we are coming out of lockdown, and hopefully we'll be able to resume back to normality. So come down to our sessions again on I think it's Thursday the 4th. Not sure on the date. Whenever lockdown's over, the Thursday, the next day, that's when we're open up again. So we'll have tennis on and all that. Thank you, whoever you are who stuck around. Really appreciate someone on the other end. Oh, they've just left me, but they were there for the whole time. So thank you very much. Hope you got enjoyment out of this, guys. And I will speak to you again next week for our core. So we're doing core next week. So have a lovely rest of your day. Have a lovely week. Stay safe, and I will see you next week. I'm going to come closer to end it.